Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy AniZ with What If Ash started off with Mew Part 1. So let's get started. We see a 5-year-old Ash playing alone in the forest because Gary was picking on him for his lack of knowledge of Pokemon since he wasn't the son of a professor or anyone famous. Ash stopped as he heard a loud thud behind him. Ash ran to check it out, using the bushes as cover, not knowing if it was a strong Pokemon attacking another Pokemon, but when he got there he was shocked. What he saw was a pink cute little kitty Pokemon that had burn marks and other wounds on it that a 5-year-old could not identify. But what disgusted Ash the most was the Pokemon was in a net. I got to help it, Ash thought as he got closer. The cat-like Pokemon got scared as it started struggling trying to get out of the net and run away. Ash slowly got closer and petted it. "Easy there, I won't help you, let me help you," he said. Mew felt Ash's aura as it changed from fearful to happy and somewhat trusting. The chosen one wouldn't hurt Pokemon. Her dad Arceus told him so. "Now where did that Mew go? My client has paid me a lot of money for that legendary, and I'm not about to lose the high payment," a evil low-pitched voice said. "Quick Mew, we have to escape," Ash whispers as he bolted towards his house. However, the hunter spotted Ash. "Hand over the Mew," he said as Ash was frozen in fear cuddling onto Mew. The hunter saw this as an act of rebellion and charged towards Ash with a knife. Not caring if it was a kid, Ash got scared as the knife came closer and closer as Ash's eyes glowed blue as he sent a wave of aura, sending the hunter flying away as the hunter was impaled by his knife, but Ash didn't see that as he bolted off towards his house as soon as the aura was released. Mew was surprised. She saw why Arceus respected the chosen one. His power was great. In fact, he released an aura equivalent to her, even though this Mew was just a baby. The power burst also healed Mew a bit, making it so it wasn't in near-death condition. But Mew was still hurt a lot. Ash got home as he ran up to his rooms and placed Mew in his bed. Then he went to his mum's potion kit and took out a hyper potion as Ash reassured Mew as he used the potion on Mew. Mew, being mostly healed, nuzzled into Ash's chest as it started to bond with Ash. Unknowingly, it had created an aura bond with Ash. Ash then took Mew out to the forest as he was crying. "As promised, I heal you. You're free to go now and live your life. I'll miss you a lot," Ash said. As Mew saw this and saw Ash got sad until the Pokemon playfully shook his head and nuzzled into Ash's cheek. Ash's eyes widened. "You want to stay with me?" Ash asks as Mew nodded yes and then cuddled with Ash. Now we skip to Canon, which is basically the day Ash was meant to get his star. For the last few years, Ash had been training with Mew in secret. He had also learned that this Mew was a baby, but it had a decent move pool, which only got better as Ash had trained with Mew with his Pokemon friends from the forest, as Mew mimicked the moves that it saw the other Pokemon use. Ash had developed a new dream after getting a book about legendaries and also befriending Mew. He wanted to catch and befriend all legendaries instead of becoming a Pokemon master. In fact, he wanted to be an Elite Four member that only specialized in legendaries. Ash, like in canon, wakes up late as he arrives towards Oak's lab. Ash is then informed by Oak that Oak doesn't have any Pokemon left. Ash just asks for a Pokedex and Pokeballs. Oak tells him that he will need a starter Pokemon, but Ash tells him that he had befriended a wild Pokemon in the forest and that he will capture that Pokemon. Oak knows that Ash had an affinity for Pokemon because when he was around the Oak's Pokemon place where all the other people's Pokemon are kept, Ash had befriended even the angriest and poorly trained and behaved Pokemon. As he gives Ash a Pokedex and 6 Pokeballs. Ash asks if he could get the National Dex and then makes up an excuse that he plans on visiting different regions to train the Pokemon. Oak then agrees. Ash proceeds to go to the forest where he first met Mew and catch Mew, not wanting to make a scene in front of the professor and the people. Mew pouted at Ash when it saw the Pokeball. Ash understood that Mew didn't like being in a Pokeball, so he told her to turn invisible in crowded places, and when she's alone she could just be in Ash's arms like how some Pokemon trainers carry Eevees and like how Misty carried Togepi. Ash then headed towards Viridian City as he was attacked by a flock of sparrows on the way who wanted to steal his food, but Mew easily soloed the flock with its psychic training, earning lots of experience. Ash finally makes it to Viridian City where Ash buys some supplies. Ash over the years had learned to use aura from the books that Mew banned for him. These actions changed canon so much, as Ash doesn't meet Misty, nor does he have Team Rocket aka Jesse James and Meowth following him. Ash then enters Viridian Forest, where Misty isn't there to point out Caterpie, so Ash doesn't capture it. Ash quickly gets through the forest, battling all the wild Pokemon in the way, not feeling like he wanted to capture any of the Pokemon here. Ash had Mew battle the Samurai, as Ash used a Fire Blast to finish out both of the Samurai's Pokemon, which was a Pinsir and Metapod. Ash then goes to a Pokemon Center to book a room to rest, where he sees the Pokemon League poster. Deciding he wanted to enter, Ash goes to a Pewter Gym. Ash shocks Brock as he sends out Mew, and then spams Surf on the Geodude and Onix, securing a victory. Ash gets the Boulder Badge and leaves to Cerulean City. On the way he goes through Mount Moon, but nothing eventful happens as Ash is way past canon. He had arrived to Mount Moon earlier, so he doesn't meet Team Rocket or anyone. He just uses the time to grind Mew some levels, as he didn't feel like catching any Pokemon. It just never felt right to him over here. Ash arrives at Cerulean City, but sees there's a blackout in the city. He proceeds to go towards the gym, but realizes that the gym is closed due to there being no power. He heard a powerful Pokemon was attacking the power plant. When he arrives at the power plant, he sees a Zapdos attacking the workers. Ash challenges it using Mew. Ash and Mew had a long fight, with Ash spamming several rock type moves such as Rock Blast, Stone Edge that he learnt from the Pokemon in the forest that he used to train with, as Ash manages to weaken the Zapdos enough and throws a Pokeball, catching it. Ash then heads towards the gym, where he uses Mew to destroy the gym leaders, who had a team of Goldeen, Seeking and Psyduck, as he used Thunderbolt from Mew to easily beat the gym. Ash then goes on to train his new Zapdos as well as Mew on the way to Vermilion City. Ash then sees AJ's gym, a fake non-approved Pokemon League gym, who is basically a person trying to get 100 consecutive wins in a row. Ash easily beats him, ruining his record, as the guy says that he's going to join the Pokemon League and absolutely destroy Ash as for revenge. Ash then says whatever and walks towards Vermilion City. Ash doesn't meet Bulbasaur and Charmander, as Ash is days ahead of the event of Damien abandoning Charmander, and since Misty doesn't try to catch an injured Oddish, Bulbasaur isn't there to stop her, and Ash doesn't meet Bulbasaur. Ash doesn't meet the Squirtle squad either, so he doesn't get a Squirtle either, as Ash arrives at Vermilion City and goes straight towards the gym. Ash uses Mew, shocking Lieutenant Surge, and spams Earthquake, beating Lieutenant Surge easily, as Ash leaves town, not going on the SS Anne because Ash didn't get free tickets from Team Rocket. Ash then goes to Saffron City, where Ash has Mew spam Dark Pulse, beating Sabrina. Ash then leaves towards Celadon City, not stopping at Route 7 to eat so he doesn't get or meet Mankey. Ash then gets to Celadon City, where Ash goes straight towards the gym. Ash easily beats Erica by spamming Fire Blast on her Pokemon, soloing them. Ash then heads towards Fuchsia City, where he goes towards the gym. Once again, Ash easily beats them by spamming Fire Blast and soloing Koga's team. Ash then stops to train Zapdos and Mew. On the way to Cinnabar Island, Zapdos grabs Ash and takes him towards Seafoam Islands, where Ash is then encountered by Articuno. Ash decides to let Zapdos battle, as Zapdos wants to prove itself to Articuno. After a long battle with Zapdos spamming Thunderbolts on Articuno and being a higher level than Articuno, since it was trained by Ash, Zapdos has weakened Articuno enough for Ash to catch it. Ash then heads towards Blaine, where Ash uses Zapdos and Articuno to solo the gym. Ash heads towards Viridian City, training Articuno on the way there, as well as Mew and Zapdos. When Ash arrives at Viridian City, he easily defeats the grunts who were in charge of the gym. They tried to steal Ash's Pokemon, but Ash had Zapdos use a Thunderbolt on them, sending them flying away. Ash had defeated all 8 gyms and was celebrating when a Dragonite comes, inviting Ash to face the strongest Pokemon trainer. Ash goes there. However, there was a storm, so Ash uses Zapdos, where the most powerfulest Pokemon trainer introduces himself as a Pokemon known as Mewtwo. That was a clone of Mew. Mewtwo, like his kind of self, solos the other trainers' teams. Ash, having enough, sends out Mew, as the other trainers and Mewtwo himself is surprised by this and decides to battle Ash himself. not using the clone of the 3 starters like he did against the other Pokemon. Ash spams Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse, but Mewtwo spams Psychic and Recover, not taking any damage from Mew. Ash, seeing Mew get hurt, facing its brother, and seeing the other trainer's Pokemon hurt, charges in between the attack that Mew and Mewtwo was about to do. As Ash gets turned to stone, Mew then starts to cry, as well as Mewtwo and the other Pokemon, as Ash is then revived like in the canon movie. Mewtwo wipes out everyone's memory, sending them away apart from Ash. Mewtwo challenges Ash to a battle. Ash accepts, but before they battle, they both heal themselves. Since Mew is now healed, Mew uses Shadow Ball, damaging Mewtwo. Mewtwo uses Psychic at Mew, sending him flying back. However, Mew manages to recover. Ash has it use Thunder Wave, paralyzing Mewtwo. Mewtwo couldn't use a move as it was paralyzed, as Ash has Mew use Hypnosis, as then he throws a Pokeball, catching Mewtwo. Ash then goes back to Pallet Town, where he is going to stop by Oak's lab, who tells him that he's the first one home and got 8 gym badges. Ash goes home and tells his mother that he will be going on a training trip to train for the Pokemon League. His mother accepts, as Ash walks towards the forest of Pallet Town where he first met Mew. His Pokeballs open up to reveal Articuno and Zapdos, as Articuno starts to fly away while Zapdos grabs Ash and takes him towards Mount Silver. Ash then encounters Moltres, as it challenges Ash to a battle. Ash agrees and is about to send out Articuno to battle Moltres when Mewtwo's Pokeball opens up. Ash decides to use Mewtwo as he has not battled with Mewtwo even once and wants to bond with him. Ash then uses Psychic to send all of Moltres' attack back at it, and then spams Ancient Power. Ash, after some time, weakens Moltres enough to catch it. After that, Ash sees a lot of strong wild Pokemon in Mount Silver and decides to train at Mount Silver. Ash then meets Gary, who also came to Mount Silver to train, and challenges Ash to a battle, but Ash declines, saying that he will beat Gary in the Pokemon League in front of everyone. After a few months of training at Mount Silver, away from Gary's sight, Ash calls out Moltres and heads towards the Indigo Plateau. Over the months, he had gotten a stronger bond with his Pokemon. His Pokemon have learnt new moves, especially Mew, who mimicked strong moves from the Pokemon around it, as the wild Pokemon here were strong, and also because there were other trainers' Pokemon, which Mew mimicked by turning invisible and observing them. He also learnt from Ash's other Pokemon, from Moltres, Mewtwo and all the other Pokemon. We now see Ash arrive at the Indigo Plateau, where he sees AJ, who had said that he will enter the league in order to get revenge on Ash for stopping his 100 win streak. Ash saw that AJ had a Charizard, a Wartortle and an Ivysaur. Yes, AJ has Ash's canon Pokemon. Ash found it stupid how the boy was showing off half of his team outside the arena. So the matches start off with Mandy using Exegator and Ash revealing Moltres, shocking everyone as Mandy stood there in fear. Ash orders Moltres to use Flamethrower, one-shotting the Pokemon. Mandy then reveals Seadra as Ash has Moltres use Sunny Day. Mandy then has his Pokemon use Hydro Pump straight after Ash uses Sunny Day while Moltres was distracted, making the water land, but the water evaporated as Moltres was barely affected by such a weak water attack. Ash then tells Moltres to get in close, which Moltres does. Ash then tells it to use Solar Beam, finishing off Seadra. Everyone in the crowd stood in shock, awe and in terror of Moltres' power. Mandy reveals her final Pokemon, a Golbat, which had a single heat wave take care of it. After being announced the winner, Ash quickly had Moltres flying away before any news reporter can swarm him. Ash then solos his second opponent with Moltres. Ash then goes on to the third round against Pewter City's Pete. Ash sends out Moltres against Pete, who is using a Cloyster. Using a single Flamethrower, Ash beats the Cloyster. The commentators make a point of Ash is gonna win the whole league, which Ash smirks, becoming overconfident. Ash then goes against Pete's Arcanine, who was tricky at first because of his Flash Fire, but Ash had Moltres use Ancient Power over and over, beating the Pokemon and winning the battle. Gary also wins his battle in this timeline, as he saw that Ash was taking his training seriously, so he decided to take his training seriously to show that he was the superior trainer from Pallet Town. Ash then goes on to the fourth match against Janet, which Ash's Moltres solos her Beedrill Bellspartan's Cypher with ease, just using a flamethrower to take them out. Which means both Ash and Gary move on to the top 16. Ash doesn't really have any encounters with Richie because he did not give his Pokeball to Team Rocket because he was not stupid enough to trust those losers. Also, using his Aura Sense, he detected that they all had evil intentions, so when they tried to take his Pokemon, he just had Moltres blast them off, and then he went to Good Show, who is the president of the Pokemon League, and reported Team Rocket, which Good Show returned all the Pokemon to their original trainers. So the match against Richie starts. Ash once again uses Moltres, which beats Richie's Pikachu. However, Pikachu did manage to get a Thunder Wave in as a last resort. Richie then uses Charmander, who lands a good Dragon Rage, but that barely affected Moltres. As Moltres couldn't move, Richie starts spamming Dragon Rage, as Charmander gets angry and angry seeing that his Dragon Rage wasn't doing anything, as he evolves into Charmeleon and tries to take on Moltres, who was still paralyzed. Charmeleon gets angrier and angrier as it evolves against Moltres, shocking everyone. Charizard then uses a Dragon Claw, damaging Moltres somewhat. As Moltres was paralyzed, Charizard continued to use Dragon Claw. Moltres was now damaged a lot, but was still standing against Charizard. Seeing this got Charizard even angrier as it unlocked Blaze. As Moltres stopped being paralyzed and broke out of being paralyzed, both Ash and Richie command their Pokemon to use one final flamethrower, as the flamethrowers exploded on contact, taking out both Pokemon, shocking everyone as Richie managed to defeat a legendary. Richie then sends out Butterfree as Ash congratulates Richie. "You're a strong trainer, Richie, but Moltres was my latest capture and my weakest of my Pokemon. Let me show you a Pokemon that I have captured a while back. Go, Articuno," Ash says. As Ash says this, Ash's Articuno appears, scaring everyone. Well, it seems Ash Ketchum has another legendary. Who would have thought, the proctor says. Ash then orders Articuno to finish off the Butterfree with a Ice Beam, finishing the match, as Richie leaves promising that it will be different next time round. As Ash chuckles, this trainer has really earned his respect, as he gives Richie a thumbs up and walks out. Ash then moves on to the top 8, where he battles a trainer called Asanta, which Ash solos with just his Moltres, allowing Ash to move on to the semi-finals. Ash is now battling Gary to see who gets to the finals. Gary sends out his starter, Blastoise. "So your starter against mine, Gary. Let's see how you react. I kept her hidden since I was 5, Ash says. "Oh really? You're still gonna lose, Mr. I need legendary to be good," Gary says. "Oh, you're just jealous that legends don't come to you. I mean, which legendary would want to go near someone as unworthy as you?" Ash says, letting his hatred for how he was treated as a child come out. "I choose you, my best friend and starter, Mew," Ash says as Mew appears, doing a backflip. Gary's jaw dropped as well as the crowds, as they turned in silent to see the rarest mythical Pokemon, which was apparently Ash Ketchum's starter, which Professor Oak backed. Nance, who also came to watch the fight, has his jaw dropped, as he heard of Ash wielding 2 of the legendary birds of the legendary bird trio, but to have the rarest Pokemon as a starter, inconceivable. He couldn't understand how this kid got Mew. He could understand the birds as they went around causing trouble all around the world, but Mews normally hide away from humans. Interesting, he thought. Mew easily beats Blastoise with Magical Leaf and the teleporting out of the way of Gary's Turtle's attacks, then blasting him with the Solar Beam, finishing off the Blastoise. Gary then sends in Nidoking, who is taken out by a single surf from the overpowered Mew. Gary then sends out Arcanine, who is knocked out by a few surfs but still manages to get in a few Fire Fangs and weaken Mew a little bit. Ash then sends out Kingler, who is swept by Ash's Thunder Punch, as this was his recently evolved Pokemon. Gary then sends out his final Pokemon, a Tyranitar, who Gary had just caught at Mount Silver. "Hey Ash, let me show you the power of bonds," Gary says as he tapped his bracelet and Tyranitar Mega evolved. Gary then has Tyranitar use Dark Pulse, damaging Mew a lot, as Ash has Mew counter with a Dazzling Gleam, which also damages Tyranitar quite a lot. Tyranitar uses Dark Pulse again, while Mew teleports close and hits Gary with a Dazzling Gleam. Both Pokemon were on their last knees after spamming Dazzling Gleam and Dark Pulse, as they both used Dazzling Gleam and Dark Pulse one final time. Both Pokemon were left standing after the explosion when Tyranitar suddenly falls, which was shortly followed after by Mew falling. Gary, having no Pokemon left, is disqualified, while Ash runs and cuddles Mew, being declared the winner. "You did good, Mew, we won," Ash says, as Mew, feeling better, started to nuzzle Ash, as everyone smiled at the cute sight. "Hey Gary, that was some power. I didn't expect anyone to even touch Mew in this tournament. She's my strongest," Ash says. "Well, Ashy boy, you win this time, but I'll take the W next time. And I'll also take the W of bringing down your Mew, which is a legendary," Gary says, as Ash starts to laugh. "Good luck with that one, Gary. Not even Lance himself will be able to beat my Mew," Ash says. Ash then goes on to the finals to face AJ, who Ash defeated at his Fate Gym. That's right, the guy who had the Fate Gym and wanted 100 wins. The reason why AJ is in the finals is because we don't know who got first place. And also, I want you to see what will happen if Ash's cannon team was used by a competent trainer against Ash's team that I made for him. We start the match off with AJ sending out Charizard, as Ash responds with Zapdos, shocking the audience even more. "Well, what do you know? It seems that Ash Ketchum has the legendary bird trio." "What do you have? A full team of legendaries?" AJ asks. "Maybe, but not a full team of legendaries." "Well, I'll give you a hint. I've caught all the legendaries of the Kanto region. And also, I don't have a full team yet," Ash says. "Why do you catch normal Pokemon to fill up the 6th slot?" AJ asks. "My dream is to be a legendary master and befriend and capture all legendary," Ash says. AJ has his Charizard use Dragon Claw, while Ash has Zapdos dodge and then use Thunder to bring Charizard down to its last knee. But Charizard survived, activating his Blaze in anger of looking weak, and then uses a Flamethrower. But Zapdos uses a Thunder Wave to counter the Flamethrower, pushing it back as the wave hit Charizard, paralyzing it. Zapdos uses another Thunder, beating Charizard. AJ sends out Venusaur, who evolved from Ivysaur, but was then defeated by a single Brave Bird, where Zapdos took quite a bit of the damage from the recoil. AJ then sends out his Blastoise with Glasses, who's the evolution of Canon Ash's Squirtle. Ash has Zapdos solo it with a Wild Charge. There's now a break as Ash has beaten the 3 Pokemon of AJ's team and there are 3 left. After the break, AJ sends out Butterfree, who quickly uses String Shot to slow down Zapdos, but Zapdos beats it with Thunder. AJ then sends out Raichu. Zapdos tries to use Wild Charge on Raichu, but unknown to Ash, Raichu had Lightning Rod, so he absorbed the Zapdos' attack. Ash, getting frustrated, has Zapdos spam Ancient Power, which Raichu uses Iron Tail to send the Ancient Power back at Zapdos, hurting it quite a bit, injuring it heavily. But a few of the Ancient Power hit, bringing down Raichu to its last knee. Zapdos then uses Brave Bird to finish off Raichu. Ash then returns Zapdos, seeing as it was injured, and Ash doesn't like forcing his Pokemon to fight, which he then sends out his final Pokemon, also known as Pidgeot. This final Pokemon is Mewtwo, Ash says, as Mewtwo appears with all of its glory. Unbelievable, it seems Ash has yet another legendary Pokemon. Truly, this kid is an enigma. A new trainer in less than a year has nearly a full team of legendary Pokemon, and that too all of the legendaries of the region he is from. He is definitely someone special, the proctor says. "I'll beat you, Ash. You ruined my dreams of having 100 wins in a row, so I'll take away your dream. Now feel our power, Pidgeot Mega Evolve," AJ says, as he touches his wrist and Pidgeot Mega Evolves. Whoa, look at that. AJ has some sort of grudge with Ash, and used that grudge to Mega Evolve his Pokemon, the proctor says. "Pidgeot, use Brave Bird," AJ said, as Mewtwo uses Psychic to stop it in place and then uses the Thunder Punch to send it flying back, damaging it heavily. Ash had Mewtwo use Future Sight just in case Mewtwo did lose, as AJ's Pidgeot came out with a Aerial Ace from behind and then used Brave Bird and Sky Attack. Ash saw Mewtwo get blown away a little, as Ash told it to use Psychic to float and slowly come back to the ground, which Mewtwo did. Ash then has enough and tells Mewtwo to use Thunderbolt on Pidgeot, bringing it down to his last knee. Ash then tells it to use Thunder, finishing off Pidgeot, making Ash the winner of the Indigo League. I think we all knew this outcome was going to come. I mean, there's no way anyone apart from maybe Toby S is going to beat Ash. Ash then got his rewards, as first place, as AJ got second place and the third place went to Gary. Ash then goes home to celebrate being a champion of the Indigo League. But guys, that's all for today. Peace.